Hello, listeners of the Guardian Hub, the greatest hub on the internet. I'd heard this, right? And I decided to do my own research into the hubs of the internet, right? Vigorous, throbbingly hard research was done. Hours upon hour, tissue after tissue to wipe the sweat away, obviously, from all that hard work. And yeah, I have decided that Guardian Hub is, in fact, the greatest hub on the internet. Anyway, enough about that. ElmmerFudd Games here to talk to you about an upcoming Destiny event I have in the works. It will be this Saturday, September 18th, from 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. I want you to spend a moment to look into your soul right now. Just look deep into your heart and go, have I ever wanted to run a raid marathon? Have I ever wanted two drunk people to shoutcast my raid team and our shenanigans? Have I ever wanted to compete against other teams to see who can get the fastest time plowing through these raids? Do I know them better than other people without cheesing the system? Of course. Well then, this is for you. This is for you. Deepstone Crypt, Garden of Salvation, Vault of Glass, in any order you want. From 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern. This Saturday, the 18th, 2021, once again. Please get a hold of me, ElmmerFudd Games, ElmmerD, on all the socials. I'm also in the Discord for the Guardian Hub or any other Destiny podcast Discord that exists, most likely. So please inform me of your team's name. Give me a stream link, because once again, one person on your team needs to be streaming. One, so we can make sure that everyone's runs are legit. And two, so we're able to shoutcast over it while drunk. And you can go back and laugh at our commentary over, everything you're trying to do and plow through this. So yeah, this is the first event of this kind I've been attempting. If it works beautifully, there are other raids in the game. We'd love to do this again. If it ends up a hot, steamy pile of shit, well, at least you got to raid in Destiny for a night. And I think that's a win no matter what. So I look forward to hearing from you and seeing some familiar names, and I'd love to see some names I haven't really seen before. So please hit me up. I'm very excited for this event. It should be a great time. And also, as of now, one or more of your hosts of the show are going to be there and involved. Oh, and a few other shows. So it's almost like a podcast battle right now. You should jump in on that. Anyway, enjoy the rest of this episode. Or thank you for listening, because I have no fucking idea if they put me in the middle or the end of the show for this. Anyway, outro catchphrase.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 127 of the Guardian Hub podcast, where we talk Destiny and our love of the game. We sometimes bring on different guests and communities to learn about them, but once again this week it is just your hosts, DesRaven, Sin Media, and KingsleyMac. How are y'all doing tonight?
Magical as always.
And Sin, you and I are loading into a Team Scorched match right now. How are you doing, Des?
Magical as always.
You don't sound like... What? Your voice changed.
I was
don't let Sin speak for you, Des.
I get it. Still in recovery. Still have a cough. Still hacking up stuff randomly. But other than that, I mean, yeah. Because it's been, week and a half since I've had the fever and body ache. So, that's on the up and up.
Well, I'm glad you're at least doing better. Those coughs can last a while. I know for some people, My wife's,
Yeah.
when she gets coughs, they'll last for months sometimes before she's like fully recovered.
Yeah, and it's weird. I mean, I live with a cough because I have awful allergies, but I can always tell when I'm sick. Or, but yeah, I'm definitely that way. Like a cough can last like an extra month after I get over the main thing I'm even with. So, I don't know.
Being sick definitely can take a toll,
You think?
as my wife likes to call it. It's men are babies when it comes to being sick.
Well, not always, but yes, that can definitely happen. But when you first said being sick can take a toll, like, no shit, Sherlock.
No, right?
Do we ever get sick and not feel tired? Oh,
Right.
man. Coming out of the gate strong. What else is news?
Yeah,
I sent an
tried.
article to Sin. I DM'd him, but I figured I'd bring it up here too in kind of current event stuff. And Sin used to work in the biz doing car sales. But I had read a month or so ago that maybe things are getting a little bit better, but all of a sudden it's horrible again. Maybe they never did get better. And the latest estimates show that we may not be caught up with car demand for the entire year of 2022 next year, because there's new shortages, even more so than there was before for the type of chips that are specifically made for cars. They named a couple countries. I think it was Taiwan and something else, and supposedly the Delta variant's a big issue over there right now. But nonetheless, car shortages are just through the roof more than ever right now.
Yeah, MSRP on these cars. It's rough. Maybe I got out of the car business at the wrong time. I heard people are making money hands over fists on that. And I kind of had a joke as you were saying, like something about there being a something with the ships. I wanted to say no ship, Sherlock.
Okay, well, it was a little late.
My dad joke of the day.
I've been seeing and hearing about the used car prices coming up too again, and I've been seeing not everyone in the private market has caught on entirely yet. I was looking at our local KSLs, like our local station, or a lot of people do like classifieds and stuff. But the dealer used car prices, holy cow! I'm seeing things like cars and trucks that have almost 200,000 miles on them and are selling like in the high teens. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Oh yeah. Yeah, trucks especially. It's just there's people want them, and dealerships are not taking the losses they used to when it comes to selling these cars. They're making the money. Supply and demand.
Well, my wife was
Supply
joking. We have
and
two
demand.
fairly newer. We kind of got our car. We were on the same schedule, so our cars are 6 months apart, and we still have fairly new Subaru Crosstreks, and we were kind of saying, like, should we just sell one of them and try to go down to one car? We could probably sell it for a premium, make some money.
Yeah. Yeah, it would definitely be the time if you're looking to get out of a car, especially if you bought it a couple of years ago. You could potentially get close to what you paid for it.
But we both need a car for what we do, so I don't think it's happening.
Right. I'm probably one to actually get away with not having one.
From your work from home stuff, you think it's going to stay good for a while, and you don't really have to go out. You could just borrow from your wife. That would be awesome if you could do that.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to be strapped with not being able to go anywhere if I like really needed it. But I mean, we could
an extra 10 grand. Right? That's the call. I mean, I don't know if it's that much, but who knows? It depends on how much equity you had and what you could sell it for.
Yeah, it really depends. I mean, probably for me, I'd be lucky to break even out of it, because I was buying cars left and right there for a while. So for me, I would be happy to break even out of it. But at this point, not worth it, just needing the car. And now that I'm not putting the miles on the car as much, probably just better for me to keep it.
Yeah, of course. Same thing with houses too. You could sell a house, but where the hell are you going to go? Everything else is more expensive. Everywhere else anyways. So,
right.
Yep. What else is new before we talk Destiny? I mean, we don't have to talk about anything else we don't want besides Destiny, but Any good shows or anything anyone's been watching?
No, but Matrix Resurrected trailer.
Yeah, trailers.
Well, speaking of trailers, that Sony thing happened.
Yes. Thanks for reminding me.
Sony thing?
Yes, they actually revealed one surprise and one very nice sequel coming for PS5.
Yeah, tell us your thoughts about it. I kind of was half watching it, so
well, the very nice
the
sequel.
Big surprise, right? Oh, to go for the sequel first, yeah.
Yeah, the sequel is very nice because it is Spider-Man 2 from, of course, the same development that did the latest Spider-Man. And from the trailer we see, it is going to be both Peter and Miles, which is quite nice. And Venom, which is always fantastic.
Yep.
With the potential main villain being Kraven the Hunter, which is always fun. So yeah, a lot revealed within like 30 seconds of a trailer, and I think they did it fantastically. But the funny thing is, I think they revealed first another game being done by Insomniac that I think people may have misconstrued as the Spider-Man 2 trailer. Turns out Insomniac is also doing a Wolverine game.
Yeah.
Because all you see is a bar with bodies laying around and a guy with bloody knuckles. Guy stands up, pulls a knife. Said bloody knuckles pops claws. It's like, oh, okay.
Yep, that was the big drop.
Right, and then that's it. Wolverine. I mean, it's just a teaser, but still, it's
coming. What, 2026?
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, Spider-Man 2 is coming 2023, so
yeah,
there ain't no telling when Wolverine's.
He got some
time. Games are these days. No, that was cool. Yeah, I was watching some of those. I didn't know what to expect from the showcase. I guess it makes sense. They were only talking about games. I was hoping they were also going to talk like other just general news, like, oh, these are some system updates we have coming for you or whatever. I don't know what I was expecting. It would have been nice to hear like, yeah, and we have Discord coming in December, or we have this coming for the PlayStation.
That's not how you make money. You got to show the games to make money.
Oh yeah, definitely. Games are the show.
Let's get the money makers out of the way.
Yeah, but I've definitely seen like announcement type things where they, they'll focus on games or the big things mostly, and then also say, and also on Strap for this year, this is what our plans are for other things. But basically, I just didn't know what this thing was, and I was in Fudd's Discord. Actually, he did a live thing of it, which, by the way, we have another announcement here in a second. Don't let me forget. But
the thing?
The thing, yes, the thing. But ElmmerFudd was showcasing live the PlayStation thing, and so I was trying to watch that, and then I got some calls in the middle of the day and had to go back to work. So thanks for that recap.
Yeah. Well, man, those are the only two I saw. I have not heard hide nor hair if they actually revealed the new God of War.
They did.
They did?
Ragnarok.
Nice. I'll have to check that trailer out then.
Yeah, somebody posted it in Discord, and I have not watched it yet.
Yeah, I mean, come on, you want what's potentially like the most anticipated game? Because my God, what they did with just like the most recent God of War is just amazing, really. I mean, they turned Angry Man hack and slash game into like a legitimate action game, and yeah, fantastic.
So I haven't played that yet. Tell me I need to play it.
Oh, you need to, like 100%. Like, you cannot go into that game expecting old God of War at all. It is actually like a good action game, rather than just the mindless button mashy that was God of War. And I'm sorry if people like that, but that's why I stopped at 2. I played the first 2 and it's like, same thing. So, but yeah. But no, yeah. This recent God of War was very nice.
I'm most looking forward to Horizon Forbidden West, just because I liked Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and they
But
announced
I'm
that
sure I'll like
coming
Elmer.
also for PS4 as well.
Yeah.
Which is because I can't remember the other like 2 games. Might have been like Miles Morales or something. But yeah, they announced a couple games are actually coming to PS4. I guess finally acknowledging PS5 is a little foobar for a while.
Mhm. For sure. And with the I am curious. There had been talk of it getting a little bit better, especially since they switched their something about one of their graphics cards or heat sinks changed a little bit, and then I thought I heard some other news that made it sound like by a little bit later this year they might have some better production, but I haven't heard anything to confirm that for sure if that's still the plan or the case. So I'm sure it'll still be hard to find for a while. Although some people are getting them. We have stories of people in our Discord that are getting them. If you have the money and keep trying, you can usually get it within a couple months period. If you keep trying,
I know because I started following that one guy on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
and I came.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Tony something?
There was
works
one
with
Matt Swider.
That's him. Yeah. Because he works with Tech Radar. Or for Tech Radar, whatever. But I came super close to actually getting one from Amazon.
Oh, right on.
But like a dummy, I checked the bank to make sure I had the money, and in that short of a time, it was gone. And it's like, oh.
Well, that was probably the responsible thing to do.
I mean, it definitely was. But within that gap...
Well, at least you were responsible.
Yeah, within that gap of less than a minute, my opportunity was gone. It's just like, dang it.
Yeah, I know. I've heard of tricks on Amazon too. Like some people say they have better luck putting money into like an Amazon gift card so it goes even quicker, and then just so checkout can go quicker, and there's all sorts of things I guess you can do to make it have a little bit better luck.
I'm an Amazon customer, so all my information's in there. Like
checkout. Yeah, as long as you have the quick checkout, that's definitely the play.
Yeah. But also just as a warning, like it's been going around, when using places like the Walmart site or Amazon in particular, when stock from the credible sources run out, like there is potential that these places will redirect you to resellers.
Yeah.
And you can potentially, if you're not paying attention, you could potentially pay close to $1,000 for one of these consoles. So definitely be wary when using these places that don't quite, that kind of redirect you to resellers like that.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, I think, is better about it, but Walmart is apparently awful on their website.
What are the base prices again? $3.99 digital, $4.99 disc. Is that what?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you just want a plain Jane PS5 without a bundle at retail price, those are the numbers you can be looking for.
Yeah.
If you want a bundle like Sin, or you don't, or if you have $1,000, then you can get it anywhere.
Right. Just drop it. Just drop that kind of money that quick. And I'm assuming they don't let you on Amazon do the payment plan like they do with some stuff, right?
Probably not.
I know some tech stuff. I've seen it pop up when I've been browsing some things, and they do they'll split it up in like 4 payments, and it's like always 4 from what if I remember.
I don't know. I haven't seen that, but then again, I also haven't done anything super expensive. I got a new headset recently because the microphone on my last one died. Finally. Which, I mean, it lasted like 5 years, so I'm not really complaining. It just kind of sucks that I had to get a new one.
Yeah.
But hey, Amazon, and apparently it was like an Amazon Day thing, and I got it quick, so
that's
fantastic. It's like, surprise, here's this thing. Super quick shipping. So, all right.
Yeah, too many games, not enough time. Mahafo, I agree. I have a big backlog. Also, I might actually get rid of my Xbox Games Pass now that I don't play on Xbox as much, and I'm just so behind on games. I can always start it up again later. But I don't have a reason. The main reason I was paying for it was Destiny on Xbox, and it was nice having the other games too. But with this crossplay, it's kind of made it right. It's kind of made. I still hop on PS5 every once in a while for multiple reasons, like if something's going wrong with the party chat, or I want to play like another game. I've been doing the Ghost of Tsushima expansion, but I haven't really been hopping on my Xbox. I'm not regretting buying it. Probably could even sell it for a pretty good price, but I am going to drop the Games Pass for now.
Yeah, plus, not playing it monthly, there's no point.
They're not even going to include Witch Queen expansion in Games Pass next year.
Yeah, that was a good deal, Mohafo. And I hear good things about the Metro games. Wait, 4 games? Was there another Metro game that came out? Because there was the 2 originally. And then I remember hearing about the 3rd one, like not long ago. Okay, so it might be 3. All right, fair. But no, like, because I think I saw gameplay of one of the Metros, and it's like a really, really interesting idea. It's like post-apocalyptic Russia, and you use the, well, it's called Metro because you're using subway tunnels, as like that's how people survive. They huddle in like subway tunnels. So metro stations are like communities. So yeah, it's really cool. And it's not zombies or anything. Something else.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, it's like some other weird mutation, whatever thing. That's definitely not zombies. It's almost like what was that game? Red Faction? Was it? Crap! Now I can't remember that game. It was almost like an alien. Whatever. Anywho, too many games. It's all jumbling in my head, and it's like, oh. But yeah, if you can find like the Metro games for cheap, definitely highly recommendable.
Yeah, no, thanks for mentioning that too. I will put that on my list. I would rather like occasionally pay for a game here and there, for like $15 every once in a while, than keep paying my $15 a month for now. Maybe it'll change again in the future. We do have another announcement that's Destiny related. Let me pull up the community creations here so I get it correct. Where the hell is this? We have too many channels on the Discord. Okay, here we go.
All right.
ElmmerFudd's Raid Marathon.
Oh, there it is.
September 18th. That's as of a recording about a week from now. Depending on when you hear this, it'll be a little bit less than a week. Anyway, September 18th, it starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, goes till 11 p.m. It is a 3-hour bracket, and the competition tournament is run three raids within a 3 hours time. Whoever finishes all 3 first is the winner, but it's just a fun competition where everyone can participate. Thanks, ElmmerFudd, for doing this. I'd been talking with him for quite a while. He'd been talking for quite a while about doing a Destiny raid race thing, and he kind of messaged me and a couple people a few weeks ago saying, hey, I'm finally going to do this, and we're excited. This is just hopefully the first of many. So I know a lot of people aren't going to be able to make this one, but
don't we plan on winning, Kingsley?
Not with you in the team.
Hater.
I mean, that and the fact that Garden's in there, it's going to make 3 hours.
Might
make 3 hours with Sin very iffy, considering Garden's in there.
But definitely. I know not as many people are familiar with Garden compared to the other 2 raids, or even like it. But please sign up for this if you're even considering it. We want to have a good show turnout. So don't be scared. You can do them in any order you want. I found out from the official rules. So you could just do Deepstone and Vogue and then put Garden last and still have fun just seeing how you do.
See how far you can get, yeah. I hope there's a backup plan just in case nobody can finish them. Because again,
I know. I
Garden's in
mentioned that
there.
too.
3 hours. So,
well,
like I said,
I know a couple of teams that are joining up, and I think we'll have a guaranteed. It's
Okay,
not going to be
all right.
me, but I think we'll have a guaranteed 3 runs down in 3 hours. At least I hope, right? Because then it'll be a little bit hard.
It's possible because I know current VOG runs can be done probably about 40, 50 minutes on average.
45, 50.
And I know DSC can be done in 40. I mean, it has to be done in 40 now. So yeah, I mean, that still gives you like an hour and 20 minutes for garden, which that could be a slow garden run.
Yeah, when I was doing like pretty normal ones with hawks and people that had a lot of experience with it, without even trying, we would usually get about an hour and 2 minutes, somewhere right around there. So if we even were trying, like obviously with this, when you set up your teams, have a plan ahead of time. Like have a DM going between your members and say, this is going to be who's in what position. Do all your loadouts ahead of time.
Whoa! Are you really giving our secrets out live?
Knows this thing. I don't think. Okay, I'm not the type of person to like hold knowledge back because hopefully you know this, but I'm saying in case you don't. It's if you want to go faster in a raid, no matter if it's for a race or not, you got to pick positions ahead of time. You can't just be like going up to the room and say like, hold on, let me switch all my mods and weapons around and who's doing what. You got to have all that ahead of time.
You're right.
Sin, who takes 10 minutes at the beginning of each encounter.
Well, I'll make sure ahead of time all the weapons that I'll be using for raid night will be right there, and I won't need to swap them back.
You only need.
But I think we have a new strat.
You only need like 3.
Yeah.
Now with particle deconstruction.
That's not necessarily true because I
Actually
think
that's
fusions during some phases.
I mean, that's still true. I mean, just because you do take off fusions doesn't mean you need to take off fusions.
Yeah. So you don't need to, but I know what Sin is saying though, like with raids like Garden that have a lower power level, and I still will run weapons often like Recluse that are sunset but perfectly suitable for that raid. Just because I'm used to it for like certain areas.
Yeah, right.
It's maybe not even necessarily still the best way to do it, but it worked really well for me. And so at least I know I can get things done. I don't think I want to be learning a whole new weapon loadout right now, at least until after this race thing is done. But I was already using linear fusion.
You've done a good job
I was already
so
using
far.
Line in the Sand. So boom. It'll be even more greater.
And you've changed up most of your weapons and your loadouts, and you're actually speccing now. Start of the season changed all that for you.
It's so funny that you make a point of that, and you really know, you seem to know that better than I do. Kingsley, did you know you changed your loadouts and your speccing?
Before it wasn't as big of a deal for you. I think I
go through
you saying
phases.
that before it wasn't as big
The
of a
last
deal
time
for
where I really was like into caring about mods and builds a lot was quite a while ago. It was probably the beginning of even in Shadow. I've done little things here and there, but Shadowkeep. Remember when was that like the very first time this season of the Vex? That's not what it was called, but the Vex on the moon. And I feel like Oppressive Darkness, wasn't it? Didn't it originally come out on that one? I think
Potentially.
I feel like it. So I remember speccing a Void build and having the grenade and everything like that. But a few things are going on here. I mean, A, fusions, and I love fusion rifles. B, this is a longer season. So psychologically for me, I feel more invested to, not that 3 months is a short time by any means, but now that it's even longer, I'm like, okay, I'll go through figuring things out here that I know I can run with it for quite a while. And it's been the talk of the town for sure. This particle deconstruction thing, oh boy.
What's that? No one's talked about that.
It is magical.
What, Jess?
YouTubers haven't made a video about that. What is it?
Yeah. Well, if you don't like a certain YouTuber, then the good news is you can turn to a different one and hopefully find the same news.
Oh, you could definitely turn to a different one and find the exact same news.
Yes.
I remember. No, okay. So, but hilariously, like when rumblings of particle deconstruction started, I think it was Scrub. I noticed because there's a couple of people I kind of follow because they have like they don't do like opinion pieces. Like Esoteric does things to show you like where stuff is, like guides, and like insane solo nightfalls on Grandmaster, flawless. Because who does that? But anywho, but then you have a Scrub who just does dumb weapon challenges on raid bosses and testing to find out like good damage methods. So saw his testing on it like first week of the season. And then as the weeks go on, I'm seeing like, oh hey, this person made this video. It's like this person made this video. It's like it's all the same crap. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I guess you got to compete against everyone when you're in that market. If you're not talking about it, also.
Yeah, but it's dumb.
Well, it never bothers me having too much information. You can always ignore some of it. At least I can. But
I mean, I would like to, but everyone in the Discord like posts these different videos, and it's like, guys. And of course, I'm not complaining because I do love the fact that people share the information. It's fantastic as long as it's good information. Pause.
Tony says he doesn't want to post Rick Eckes.
What's up, guys? Tony Kakis here.
I am saying though that what's his face? Aztec Cross? Aztec Cross?
Aztec Cross? Yeah.
I have no idea how to pronounce his name. I fell out of Destiny YouTubers a long time ago. Actually, it was about the time when I started podcasting. Funny. But yeah, so I see his name popping up a lot. So I'm guessing too.
His is pretty good.
Nice.
I think you should give him a try. He's pretty cool in his videos. He's a little bit upbeat, but I don't feel like he's like being fake about it. It really seems like if you met this guy, this is how he talks. Could be fake.
He's the one that sounds kind of Southern?
Yes, kind of Southern.
Sort of.
Very outgoing. And I don't know. He seems cool to me. And
because
so
I saw one of his back when the whole nonsense was going on about dirt coming out on certain streamers and certain bigger people in the Destiny community getting outed, like Luminosity and such. I saw a video of his that was an opinion piece. It seemed he seems genuine and also seems to like not have a filter, like he's going to tell you what he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Type deal is kind of the impression I got off of him.
Yeah. So when I see people posting his videos, I definitely will check them out. One of the first ones that I followed, I mean, Fallout had one pretty early on too. It wasn't maybe as detailed as some of these newer ones I've seen with Astacross. And holy cow, speak of one that just came out today. I know Sin wants to talk about it, Tony wants to talk about it. I watched it. It was pretty insane. This could be considered a little bit douchey of a thing he's doing here. He's giving it a term. He's calling it the boom method. But
I know, right?
But it is pretty amazing just how, as we're going along, there is more and more fine-tuning that's work. I mean, you can just do particle deconstruction, linear fusion rifles, maybe a couple other things like a bubble or something, and be 70, 80% great, right? Like you're still melting things super fast. But holy cow, he has a whole chart and we're seeing all these things where, Sin, do you remember the details? What's that mod called that works with stasis?
Focusing lens.
Now, I knew about this mod, but I was like, stasis, and I just, because I'm mostly doing solar now in the raids and things like that. But I knew there was a possibility there. It's not like I didn't know that wasn't going to be helping with anything. But I first saw it in a video, I think it was Fallout, like a week ago or a few days ago, talking about this is the Riven strat now. Basically, it's you throw a focusing lens on her foot, and which is, by the way, we did this except for focusing lens. The new strat isn't sword anymore. It's back to, well, now it's fusion rifles. So the one that seems to work best with Riven is 1K if you have it. If not, do something like threaded needle.
Because,
you don't want fusion.
Crit.
Or you don't. Yeah, her crit plus sleeper could even bounce back, hit an eye.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, because apparently, oh god, what video was I? Actually, it might have been Scrubs. They actually mentioned, I think it's like Shuro Chi and like Kali.
Yeah.
I think are super susceptible to sleeper.
Yes.
Because their crits are insane. But Riven and like Morgoth don't use sleeper against because they don't, like, their crit multipliers aren't as high.
Yep. Yeah, we tried sleeper a couple times and learned the hard way, and then only like 2 or 3 of us had 1K, and when we switched to us doing that instead, we did a very easy melt.
Yeah.
But we didn't even do focusing lens. So if one person, has stasis and this works everywhere. So only one person who needs to have stasis with focusing lens, they throw that down. But it says then any damage done with light subclass, anyone who's standing in a well, that counts.
Yeah. It's because for some reason any damage done in a well is multiplied because it's technically being buffed by a light ability. So yeah.
Yeah. So same thing with the other raids. If you really want to spec it all out,
there's so much things to use because there's like high energy fire. There's there's focusing lens. There's of course tether. There's ward of dawn. There's well of radiance.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many options to like try and stack on each other that it's a little ridiculous.
It is, but the easier ways to probably look at it is the buffs is kind of like the point that I was watching in his video. And pop down a bubble on a well, you might as well, because the bubble will have the greater buff, but even then if the bubble goes away, you got the well, but the well will work with focusing lens. So either way, you're good there. Now with the debuffs, it's a little more complicated, and you have to do them in a certain order. You have to do particle deconstruction first. Then after that, if someone wants to throw a tether, it does help. But then you start getting into like, it's a little more complex. And if someone throws, not that seems complex to me, but still, you got to like just plan it out more. You got to like, first of all, have someone that's willing to run tether, someone who's willing to like, we have all the communication. Okay, PD's done, throw the tether, whatever, however you're going to say it. And then, which is really just one shot of a regular fusion will do it. A quick null composure or something like that, because it has the 5 bolts. And then
actually null has 9 bolts now.
Well, awesome. It has the 5 bolts for particle, which is what you need for
in fact, the only fusions that won't do it now are high impact, because those are now 4 bolts.
Those are 4, yeah. So good point on that.
So,
or of course 1K basically counts because it just on its first shot basically does 5 bolts right away or more. I forget how many little sprays it does. But they mentioned that it procs right away because of the way it fires. The interesting thing about 1K is even though it's not always the best, technically the highest DPS choice, in practicality, it's one of the best options because of it's easier to use, things proc faster. So,
And actually, like, I do talk trash, but I do like how Datto did his video for all these nonsense. Because it was a picture, the thumbnail was a picture of 1K voices. And the title was something like average clickbait, do this strategy title, but in parentheses, it's like, even though sleeper is better, use 1K.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
Yep.
Also, hilarious thing, talking about Riven, I do want to, also speaking of esoteric, if you don't know who that is, go check him out. Because he is very quick on like hidden location things videos, like find all the things. Like he'll have, what is it, Tracing the Stars? He'll have a video where with all the Atlas SKUs within 2 hours of it being live. And it's
nice.
a little ridiculous. But or something like that. It's like 2 or 3 hours. But no, he posted a video a while back where he found a method to solo cheese Riven.
Nice.
That's possible.
Well,
It's
here's
already
the
been
thing.
possible, I felt.
It's a very specific setup, but it's actually super consistent. It requires a 1-2 punch shotgun, and it requires you to have a key binding for your powered melee, and using a middle tree Solar Titan that has the throwing hammer. Because if you wedge yourself right next to Riven's claw, and you throw the hammer at her, it will bounce back and you will catch it and you will have another melee. So it is literally powered melee, shotgun, or shotgun powered melee, just that fast because middle tree Sunbreakers get their charge back if they catch their hammer. So it's ridiculous because it's just that easy.
Yeah. And fun.
Interesting.
I'm enjoying this, and I'm going to be fine when it goes away next season. Because
So
I
far,
think this is a good plan, right? Where they can make things overpowered for a while. This is one of the best things they've had with these seasons and with these mods. Even though I'm sure we can have complaints on how to make the artifact system better, the fact that if something's super overpowered, we know that at least there's a chance we get to keep it because Bungie has a plan that we only get to keep it for so long.
See, and that's the thing,
because
because
there's 6 months or yeah.
Yeah, because there's usually like backup plans even in the artifact. I mean, I kind of understand some of the arguments I see about the artifacts. You know, it's like, oh, you're limiting what we can use for like this, that, or the other. But like ever since Sundering Gaze, I think that was when Beyond Light dropped. No, that was not. That was the season after. After Season of the Hunt. That was Season of the Chosen, when Dead Man's Tale came out. Because Sundering Gaze was like you use a scout, sniper, something. You put hits on a target from a distance, and they get a damage debuff against all incoming damage. Like, Sundering Gaze never caught on, but once its predecessor... Oh god, what was the name? Oh god. Just last season's mod.
Last season. Have you heard about Breach and Clear?
Breach and Clear, thank you. Jesus, that's so sad because it was such a meme. Yeah, it was such a meme in the groups. I legitimately forgot the name of it. Wow.
That's old news. It's
right?
Yesterday's news.
But yeah, Breach and Clear, though, like really hit. And I was just super surprised that they actually, you know, with particle deconstructions, like here, 3rd season in a row, here's something that's kind of busted. And by kind of, I mean pretty massively busted.
Yeah. It's a thing. Well, I'm sure.
So BC for Breach and Clear, and now PD for Particle Decon. Decon.
I mean, you got to breathe. You got to breathe everything.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Because who has time?
Yeah.
Save every little bit we can.
So how about that story this week? We're in what, the 3rd week?
3rd week
of the season. And
we talking about
I want
that part of
to
it?
hear definitely more thoughts, but the TLDR I got was Crow wants to talk to Savathun and no one wants to let him. And they are mad with each other.
I mean, imagine the very guy that essentially let Savathun into the Dreaming City to initiate her curse, that for years has been having the Awoken within the Dreaming City relive the same 3 weeks. And he wants to talk to the person that tricked him into opening the Dreaming City.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic?
Right?
At this point, what do you think? Okay, because so many things could happen. So is the strat? I mean, people have discussions about this all the time in real life too, with like kids and saying things and stuff. But like, is it better because he might end up talking to her soon anyway? So is it better telling him what happened with his previous life and then letting him have that information, or is it better just trying to tell him don't talk to her and then hope that he won't?
I mean, here's the thing. There was a nuance to this story that I am super enjoying. Because, of course, Crow gets pretty ticked off and he puts it in just such a way that makes sense. Because he mentions that guardians aren't supposed to be influenced or judged by their previous life.
Oh yeah, I loved that. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yes.
why does it seem like I am? Or why does it seem like I'm the only one who is? And it's just like, but when he continues to speak and he's like, I deserve answers. I love this voice actor because it's like you can hear the old Aldrin starting to come out in him as he's getting fed up with everything. And it is a glorious thing. Like, this is the crap I was waiting for since they teased us with his awakening as a guardian. God, how long ago was that? Is that like a year and a half ago? Jesus. But yeah, this is the story I've been looking forward to.
So Mo asks, does he not know what happened with his previous life? Yeah, I don't think he still does. No. Like people will say like, oh, people are saying that I was a bad man, but it's not like, I don't think anyone gave him a whole essay of everything he did. They're trying to kind of keep it from him, right?
Yeah. He does not know he is Aldrin Sov. He does not know he killed Cade. He does not know that Petra didn't like him. Like, he still doesn't know all these things.
Although
he doesn't know Mars,
figuring that
his
out
sister.
Now.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't know Mars' sister. He doesn't. Yeah, he is still entirely ignorant of everything.
Jon Snow, basically. He knows nothing.
I mean, it's fair. It's on one end, it's entirely fair because again, like Zavala's stance on your past life is it's your past life. You know, it doesn't matter. So I mean, that was the whole schism with Anna Bray. You know, she wanted to find out who she was, and Zavala wasn't having it. So I mean, it's like the current stance to not know. So yeah, it's fantastic.
They should they should definitely let him know though. I think it would play better.
This is also like the first time ever that we've seen someone who legitimately everyone knows him and what he's done. Everyone knows his past life.
I know. So now that they're going to bring in the very valid point that he has of, well, how come I'm the only one being judged? Well, yeah. I mean, like, I want to know what my guardian did before, or other people. Right. You know what I mean? Maybe Zavala was horrible, or you know what I mean? There's so many things you could go with that. So,
I mean, I think the only person that might actually still remember anything of his previous life might be Shin Malphur, because he never died. Because I mean, he was a living. He never died. And it was the ghost of another guardian that made him a guardian. So he's like just a super weird, like, example. Anyway, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah. I mean, it'll start getting into technicalities too quickly, but like, yeah, how does that work? Like, is it supposed to just be like history of people is not really important and not written down? But then again, we know about like the lords of the past, you know, the Iron Lords and everything like that. So we do know some things about previous history. So,
and here's the thing, like records were able to be pulled up to confirm that Eris Morn was actually born after the collapse. Because there was because the whole lore issue with Medusa, who was claiming to be Eris Morn and claiming a life in the Golden Age. Apparently someone in the city like tracked it down and found like a recording of her in the city before being a guardian. So I mean, yeah, there's strange precedents, but it's going to become it's going to become a major pivotal point for him on how he finds out.
Yeah. Yep. So week 3, and we have also our third exploration of the Ascendant. Oh, sorry, what? Shattered. I always want to say it like Shattered Throne or Ascendant Realm, but I always get it like mixed up. There's so many.
Because it's a Shattered Realm.
It's not the Shattered Throne. It's the Shattered Realm. It's not the Ascendant. Blah blah.
It's your Shattered.
Actually, it technically is the Ascendant Realm.
Yeah.
Technically.
Anyways, this one is really fun. I really enjoy it. It's the Hive focused one with Des and I knew all along it'd be this, but with the Dread ship, not the Dreadnought.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And but still pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I just think it's funny. It's like, oh, it's a big Hive ship. It's the Dreadnought. It's like, no, dude, that thing was as big as a moon.
Yeah.
That is not the Dreadnought.
It's like 20 Dread ships put together.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers, the awesome cinematic with the Dreadnought, where Oryx fires the weapon. Everyone forgets the 10 Dread ships that got annihilated in that wave when he activated his own weapon. That were teeny compared to the Dreadnought.
Yeah. But a really fun area, and the boss fight is kind of like a Wrathborn type fight where you.
I mean, it's entirely a Wrathborn fight.
Entirely a Wrathborn fight, yes. With because of Ziva Wrath, I suppose, right? And that's why.
Yeah, because he is the retainer of Ziva Wrath.
Oh, what was the name? Wasn't it? It was something of. Was it the Might? No, it was a big one, I feel.
Or was it the Jaws of Ziva Wrath?
Yeah, it was something big.
Something like that.
Yeah.
My friend Google knows.
My friend Google.
So what is it? Shattered Realm. It's what? Field of Wrath or something?
What the name of the area was?
Ruins of Wrath.
Ruins of Wrath. Boss. Name.
Ruins of Wrath. Boss. Okay.
If you find out.
And
yeah, thanks for those screenshots in the chat channel. Well,
I was just looking at them.
I know.
They look pretty awesome. Pretty good screenshots there.
Dang it.
I was hoping that unless I missed something.
Oh, wow. That was.
I was hoping there would be more little secret doors or exploration areas inside the ship. Did you all?
There's one thing I have not looked at yet. My first playthrough, all I did was go for the completion.
Yes,
I didn't actually go through and look for anything.
Well, I mean, that's good because you don't get you didn't get the upgrade until after this exploration anyway. So it's always,
right.
Going forward, it won't matter. But for these last 2 weeks, it was actually better just to go for a clear completion.
And that made more logical sense to me too. I just kind of wanted to do the mission, getting the boss down just in a very linear, easy way. And then I figured I would go back and activate the things, but then do the exploration. Now, the one that I didn't get done, I was getting kind of salty. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Jaws of Ziva Wrath.
Jaws. Okay, you were right. Jaws, yeah.
Yeah, because the screenshots, someone theorized that because of the banners, which they mentioned looked bug-like, that it was potentially Savathun, which I do find it hilarious that the banners do indeed look bug-like, but that's kind of been like a new Hive Knight design since D2 started, because most of the Hive that we faced in D2, at least like in Titan and other places, they were Savathun's Hive. So like that's the base Hive Knight model now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
They've been hinting this bug thing for a while, which makes sense because, I mean, like if you look at super original Hive concept art, they look like moths anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
So when I was exploring off to the right, there was one somewhat, I know, doable, easy one for this week that I didn't get done yet, where you have to open a barrier and then open another barrier and run really fast and get through the barrier. Oh, no, first proc those floating bridges and then run through the barrier before it times out. I tried it like probably 15 times. I got through the barrier 4 times, but all 4 times I did, because of being on my stupid warlock, the way that it curves to the side, and I had to do my last jump really fast to get through the barrier before it timed out. I jumped past the platform, so I didn't land on it, and then I wiped, because, stupid warlocks take 10 years to course correct when you're in the air. Did either of you, do you know what I'm talking about? Did you try for that one, or did you get it?
I didn't try for anything. Like I said, I grabbed 2 Ascendant Anchors were the only things that I grabbed during my run.
This one seems like, at first glance, I'm sure there's going to be more, but at first glance it seems... Oh, you got through it, Mo? That's awesome. Like there was less things to find, or they were more obvious of where they were. Now, I'm sure I'm missing stuff. And then I also, looking at the triumphs, it looks like there will be a 4th thing. You see those little areas on the rock walls that look kind of purple and sparkly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be something later, too.
The immune rocks, as I call them.
Yeah, the immune rocks, yeah. So,
because...
At least we think.
I mean, yeah,
there is another thing you can do, it shows.
I'm theorizing that that's going to be Aegir Scepter once we get it.
Gotcha.
Because, going back to Tracing the Stars, there is one more place to deposit the Atlas SKUs. Because there's 4 domes.
Yeah,
I'm thinking this next... I'm thinking this next reset is when we get Aegir Scepter. Because that also lines up with Shattered Realm going back to the first one. So I think that's when we're going to be able to explore. I think Aegir Scepter is going to be used to take down the immune rocks.
Okay.
Personally.
It makes sense, yeah. But then we would have, another 3 weeks if you have to get all 3 of them? Depends on what you need to do.
I mean, for sure. But, I mean, again, when you look at the triumphs, like each area has like 22 triumphs total for like opening chests and mysteries and stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, thanks for the tip, Mo. I don't need to read it here. Well, just real quick. He said there's a way you can get to it from the side. Just Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's probably how I did
That comes with the...
Oh, and what?
You have to use the new...
True sight. Well, you need true sight either way to get the platforms to appear. But I guess you can get it from outside. I didn't try that. What's in all 3 of these areas, in each one, there's like a little floating light or orb in the sky. Has anyone noticed that?
Right. Yeah, the ticking plates.
I guess it's a really small one. No, it looks more like a light.
No. Yeah, the lanterns.
But it's like, it moves around a little bit. Not like a lot, but it kind of like bounces and moves around in the sky.
Oh. Well, you're not talking about... I have no idea then.
In this area specifically, it's by the tower on the right, the Hive Tower, and up towards the top, and I should scope in and look at it better, but it looks like a light, like a round orb. I can't tell the size exactly. And it almost looks like it has like a light beam going up a little bit, and it kind of like bounces and floats in the sky.
Huh.
But I noticed one of those in the other map also.
I don't know. Every time I look up in the sky, I get my eyes get drawn towards the giant oversoul-looking thing in the sky. For those that remember Crota's End.
We just ran that recently.
So quiz.
Well,
no, go finish that thought first. I mean, this is similar.
No,
but
there was a line mentioning, maybe not that particular anomaly, but the Queen makes mention that what's happening to the Ascendant Realm is kind of like the Hive War Moons, essentially. If anyone remembers those, where the Hive apparently somehow launches moons out of orbit to invade places somehow. Yeah, and they're kind of like trying to crash through to invade places. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Mo does seem to confirm what you were saying. I guess maybe I didn't scope it enough. He thinks it's just a lantern that was like further away. But it was kind of weird. It was just kind of floating and bouncing in the sky. But anyways, speaking of the dread ships, does anyone know, other than the cutscene for Taken King, where are 3 areas in game, either patrol or missions, that we actually see dread ships?
I know there's at least one at Tangled Shore.
Yep, Tangled Shore. And the other one I totally forgot about, but I thought it was so cool. That's why I wanted to bring it up. You don't go in it, but you see it in a mission.
In Destiny 2, right? So
all of Destiny. So that'll help you if you think back about Destiny 1 as a possibility also.
My memory fails me.
It's okay. It's the mission that is focusing on Crota's funeral with the Death Singers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because the giant freaking thing.
There's a dread ship in the sky. That's probably where all the Death Singers came down from and stuff. So
right. Yeah.
I loved that mission.
Oh god, it was so good. Yeah, because it was the third person mission. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I think. Yeah. Yeah. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
That, which is hilariously, it's not even like Crota's funeral or anything, but that's how I remember that mission, because it was like the only time we had to go into third person and like stealth around.
Yeah, and then you see like the areas of effect around like the walking ogres and knights, and you're like,
right,
get too close.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we could use some more of those missions. That was cool.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know. I agree. Yeah, Mo also writes, man, those Death Singers singing their songs or calmly singing them is insanely spooky.
Yeah, no, it's almost like they took that from mythology.
Yeah, and spooky and everything. And I love the model. I love their shape and form is like really cool.
Yeah, I mean,
of course, in the raid too, but you know, the what is it? The Crota's daughters, or sorry, orcs, they have that similar look on their face. Yeah.
And Crota's daughter too, because I believe one of Crota's daughters was indeed the Death Singer in the Death Singer encounter.
That's right. Yep, that's what it was. Yeah, because they had the names, right? If you're in the mission, they would give the names above them. They were named. Yeah, and so it was one of the ones from the raid too. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I might have to actually go back and see if I can find that, because hilariously, that might be the names of the people that run the Crimson Court now. I just thought of that because the people that were in charge of the Crimson Court was like more of the Death Singer daughters of Crota, I think. So those names might actually line up. Oh my god, I'm so I have gotten like super impressed with the lore. If things are being foreshadowed like I think they are, I might be super impressed with the lore and like how they're using it. It is fantastic.
Yeah, he says, love their triangular heads. I missed my shots when shooting with Touch the Malice at times.
Right? Like their heads bob. Like it was worse than Shiro-Chi. Like 100%. Like, ugh.
Yeah, and now it's just easy going with sleeper or something.
Yeah.
Well, at least easy on normal mode. What else about story that you want to mention? Anything? Now, I did see you were discussing earlier that the is it true? I saw that you said that the book and the lore is kind of classified now, so you can't read ahead of time.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was actually just today, because sometime within the past couple of days, I unlocked book 3. And I, of course, read through it, but I had to in game because I didn't see it anywhere else. Page 1 and 2 of the Ripple book, I was able to read beforehand, just before unlocking it. But yeah, then I got a third page, and I had to read it in game first, which was kind of a first for me in many seasons. But yeah, so I tried to look back into it today, and nobody's showing it. Like, it's still actually classified in the API, so I couldn't read it again.
Sounds like they've learned from
Right?
their mistakes.
That's like I said, it's a smart move now, but still kind of sucks. Now I have to wait to unlock them to read them. So, like I said, it's the first time probably in like 4 or 5 seasons that I've had to read the lore in game. What kind of nonsense is this, Bungie?
Yeah, I'm really excited for what's upcoming. I mean, we know that this really cool story and the missions are going to go through at least September, maybe something. We don't even know what else could be going on with this season, but just if you do the math and how many triumphs there are and stuff, then October we're going to have Festival of the Lost, and it seems to show and indicate that there might be some changes there. November could be a quiet month without us knowing, without a calendar. We have no way of knowing. And then, of course, December, 30th anniversary drop with more good stuff.
A lot of good stuff. Freaking Galahorn. What the crap?
Sorry we didn't answer your question real quick. We do have a question for the show, even though he might have figured it out. RNG Gator was asking about with crossplay, out now for Witch Queen. And a lot of people have this question, so thanks for bringing it up. If you have cross save and buy the $100 on Xbox/PlayStation, do you have to buy it on PC also? Well, yes, you would have to buy it on Xbox and PlayStation and PC, but no one really needs to do that anymore, including me saying everyone who has multiple platforms because of crossplay.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone would.
Actually, I think it was funny because I think I played recently with Sucker,
and
he was playing on PlayStation, but I mean, I guess it was just for the convenience of it, because he, I think, mentioned that of course, I think he's been like this for a while, but he mentioned he didn't have stasis on console.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you really don't have to worry about it much at all, really.
Unless you plan on playing multiple devices.
Yeah, like
in different areas of your house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You do have to buy it then. Like if you and your son are going to play at the same time. Yes, RNG, because, of course, yeah.
Yeah, the old rules still apply in that you have to, like, the platform that you're playing on has to have a license for the expansion, but the seasons are a shareable commodity.
Yeah. And you would have to also, unfortunately, the season's a shareable commodity for your account, but your son would also have to buy the seasons in case that wasn't obvious. But it is what it is. But I know a lot of people have been buying the deluxe edition and pre-order this and pre-order that already. And I always like to just buy things as it gets closer, as it comes out. I think I'm going to do that again. I will buy what is it, 25 or 30 for the 30th anniversary? What was just a la carte price?
I think it was 20.
Okay.
20, 30? Maybe 25. Was it 30? I think it was 25.
Whatever
I think
it is.
The Witch Queen was 39, I think. Because it's it's the most expensive expansion we've had since Forsaken.
But supposedly
look
the
at it
30th
here.
anniversary.
Oh, $29.99 is
yeah.
okay. Fair enough. I thought
That's
I saw
okay.
like 25.
Anyways, I know you can
I get
buy everything together for 100, so that's 40 for Witch Queen, 30 for 30th anniversary, so that makes you up to 70, and then you'll get 4 seasons
But
for a deal of
yeah,
30 versus 40.
yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah. 'Cause
25. Okay.
Okay, so just $24.99. See, that's the thing. I can never tell if my memory is actually functioning properly or not, so I have no idea. But okay, so just $24.99. But yeah, because that was you've already mentioned it though. But yeah, the $100 version does
Okay,
come
then
with
it's only
all
a
seasons.
$5 deal that you're getting instead of a $10 deal. Wait, no,
All
it's
right.
a $15 deal? Maybe I was wrong the other way.
So wait, 39. So
40
$40, 25, the 65. So that is 65, 75, 85, 95. So it is 35. So it's a $5 deal.
Yeah, $5 deal.
You
Okay.
get all the seasons.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people just say, "Oh, I just want to be done with it, not think about it." That's fair too, but I like buying it a la carte. It just seems interesting to me, and I did find a really good deal this time around when I bought this season pass. The Bungie store had a deal where for an additional $5, I mean, because it's $10, you got to buy the silver to buy it if you do it after the fact or however it works. But they had a deal for if I wanted to spend 15 versus 10. It was a better deal, a lot more bonus silver than normal. Plus, there was a emote. So I'm like, yeah. So I was kind of glad I waited actually, and just got the season then versus pre-ordering it.
I don't know.
But it is true.
I'm a deal guy. You tell me I'm going to save a little money, I'll go for it.
Yeah,
I'll bite.
Drop your $100. I don't know how long the deal's going to last. Do you probably have to get it before the 30th anniversary, obviously, right? If you,
I mean, yeah, but that's pretty much my time frame.
Yeah.
my goal is end of November.
There you go.
Basically.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I don't even mind. Obviously we're all Destiny fans, and $100 for a year's worth of play is just what it is, and I will gladly pay it.
Not that bad.
To be fair, like because here's the thing. I mean, with the way that they're laying out the seasons and the story that they're really packing into the seasons, I dare say it's like never been like more worth.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the drip feed of stuff through the seasons, which only lasts like what, halfway through a season before you technically have everything, and you're only waiting on basically story to conclude in a season. I like this layout. I mean, yeah, it's still kind of time gated, but I mean, like I said, it's like a month and a half before you get access to technically all the stuff. Like Aegir Scepter might be this coming reset, and that's the last exotic that we know of, unless they come at us with a surprise, which they could. But yeah. So I mean, I don't know.
Wow.
I like the setup.
RNG Gator, thanks for the tip. I might actually buy this deal because this is a lot better deal on PC for Steam. You can get the 100. Well, I just like this deal. This is enough to push me over the line potentially, because $5. I'm like, whatever. I'd rather the cash flow. But this one brings it down to $83.99 for the deluxe edition. That's a good deal.
That is actually because that's at least 2 seasons free, essentially.
Yeah. Jeez, I wonder how they're doing this. Can we trust Green Man Gaming? What is this site?
I know, right?
I don't know anything about them. If I get gypped, I'm going to bill you, RNG.
Yeah. Is what guy like leading us to questionable internet back alleys here?
That's it. That's his little website in the back that he makes money off of.
Right.
RNG's like laughing right now, and oh man.
But yeah, I mean,
16% off.
I've been like super surprised with Beyond Light in particular. Like these seasons this year, they have been so like story driven. Like in a way I don't think has quite been pulled off before. Like I feel like it's in a good spot now. Like
Very
seasons
true.
themselves.
And I remember them saying a little while ago too, like a year or two ago, saying something like, "We can't expect like cutscenes and things like this too often, yet we're still getting
I know,
cutscenes
right?
every season."
Yeah, I know. They say like, oh, don't expect like these high polished things super often, and we get like one or two a season still. And it's like, I think it was probably just like a just in case they potentially couldn't do one. That way they, it was basically like a blanket statement. It's like, no, we're not going to be able to do it all the time. Pretty much as just in case that way people don't grab their pitchforks if there's a season missing a cutscene. Which I mean, legitimately, I'm still surprised by like every seasonal cutscene we get, because that's like effort in production. That's like,
and even just the voice lines alone, we have. I'm sure we have at least another 3 weeks at least of hearing from Savathun, and so that's pretty. I'm always giddy. We come up each week. What is she going to say?
God, there's so many things and so much speculation and so much lead up that is coming from Savathun that is a little ridiculous. But also for those that think that Savathun, like part of her lie is trying to get us to believe that, the darkness is chasing her and she's not really being chased. Page 3 of Ripples lets you know, no, she's actually being chased. Like, it's pretty legitimate that she is a heretic to the darkness and the hive. It's a little nuts. Because one thing I've noticed that Bungie does is usually perspective lore. They usually respect as true from that person's perspective. Because, I mean, people might argue it's like, oh, but Anna Bray was supposed to be dead in Twilight Gap. Well, one of the things they covered is the fact that that's what she made it look like, and we never heard from her perspective from Twilight Gap until Warmind dropped. So the fact that page 3 actually focuses on, I'm wanting to say it's the night that's at the end of Pit of Heresy, which was basically a Savathun creation. And he is adamantly against Savathun now. Like, willing to cut her down at the command of his new queen, Xivu Arath.
So, I'm really starting to see Savathun as like the wild card or the Joker character, the Loki character, right?
Right, 100%. 100%, because, I mean, you don't know what the trick is. And yeah, like, comparing her to Loki is 100% like accurate, because again, where's the trick? Because she doesn't need to, like, in her cocoon currently, she doesn't need to trick us. But then again, she spent like millennia tricking people to gain power, so it's kind of her nature. Actually, it's legitimately her cunning is legitimately her nature. It's what the worms told her when they gave her worm. It's like,
and the other ones don't like it.
But yeah, it's ridiculous, and I cannot wait to, because I will let people know. I will draw attention to one line that Savathun said in the first week, when she talked to us, that I definitely want to draw attention to, because a lot of people in lore are drawing attention to it right now, and by a lot of people in lore, I do mean at least Mylan, because that's the lore guy I follow. Go check his stuff out. But yeah, because she mentions like first week, we've heard the line between light and darkness is so very thin. So she mentioned standing on that. They're like, if you ever want to know what's been watching you from the beginning, just stand on that line and look to the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting because there might have been a Grimoire card released in like 2015, 2016 that might have actually kind of predicted what she could be talking about. So it's a little insane.
But all I can think of now is the meme that Nolsey posted of a cat looking down from the ceiling at us.
Right.
It's the great cat in the sky. The cat's in charge of everything.
And also, hilariously, though, if you take it semi-literally and you look up from Savathun, the way the magic, because there's like two triangles that keep her in place, and there's the giant glowing circle in the doorway behind her. So, I mean, it's not that hard, but you line it up and you get something that looks like the logo for Lightball.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
So yeah, just a lot of things like metaphorical. It actually has like kind of a literal potential basis too, because it might be Lightfall when this happened. I mean, oh god. Oh yes, and there's it's not a taken egg, it's a Nahamkara egg.
Not an oryx egg.
No, it's not little baby oryx. Which I'm sure the Destiny community would find adorable. The next plushie released by Bungie, baby oryx. But now, see, when you teleport in, I believe it's towards Mars. There's a balcony you can jump up onto, and if you basically look through that doorway, I mean, it's Nahamkara egg, just chilling.
Oh,
who's your daddy and what does he do?
Well, we have to also mention, since today is the day, I mean, we kind of hinted to, like, how we've been, I feel like we've talked about this episode, how Destiny's been around for a long time, but 7th anniversary of when Destiny came out.
7 years. This.
Yeah.
We're coming up on it. It's not, because it's not till like the 14th, right? I think.
Oh,
or is it already passed?
Wrong. I thought it was today. Why they came out with the article? Now I feel silly.
Today was when they released the article.
Well, I mean, just because they released the article doesn't mean it's the day. I mean, it's also TWAB Day, which is when they like to release articles.
No, I know. What does anyone remember when Destiny 1 first was launched? September, October?
No, it was definitely No. This is the accurate month, 100%, because it was September.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So regardless of which, no, this is the month which it happens.
Because I didn't start on day one.
Oh, I did, and I still don't remember. Because come on, that was 7 years ago, man. You really think I'm gonna remember when a video game released 7 years ago?
It was today, September 9th, 2014.
Oh, it was September 9th.
RNG.
Well, did you see there was a separate article too, not just the TWAB? So that's what I'm pulling up right now. So
yeah, exactly.
They had a bunch of past videos.
I just kind of skimmed through it. I mean,
it was also a lot of like concept art, like
super
early concept art. You can tell because almost none of it looks like it made it into the game.
No,
I actually like how they talk about at the beginning of the article about behind the scenes when that first trailer launched and like how many issues they had and they had to fix it on the fly.
The entire snafu that was the E3 presentation that nobody knew about, that I know of anyway. Like when they, because I remember, because that's kind of like the presentation that got my attention in Destiny. So to find out that everything was secretly going wrong is kind of amazing. I mean, this is kind of like the history, like Destiny has followed in that like mold ever since. like something big happens and just everything goes wrong. It gets better, it gets fixed, it gets stable. Something big happens, everything goes wrong.
Well, I love how they say at the very end, oh, and that HDMI cable that broke for the presentation, Jones still has it. A keepsake, a totem meant to ward off anyone who dares ask him to do a live stage demo ever again.
It was September 9th, 2014. Wow. But yeah, like, again, for people that know the 2014 E3 presentation, or was it 2013? Either way, one of those, where they drop in and Pete Parsons, CEO, is supposed to be playing the game to show you how it all works. But yeah, somebody severed an HDMI cable, so he had absolutely no visual feed on what he was doing. But yeah, he was able to walk a few steps, wave, which allowed them to transition into pre-recorded footage. So yeah, it's freaking fantastic. But yeah, today is actually indeed the 7th anniversary. Wow. It's been 7 years. I've been playing this game for 7 years, man. Give or take a year.
That time flies when you're having fun, for sure.
God, that's crazy.
And that's really the only... Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, I keep mentioning, like, I was never a shooter guy. Like, ever. Like, it just wasn't my forte. Yeah. Like, my forte was RPGs. But this game was just fun and incredible, and hilariously, I had like a super memorable beta experience getting trapped behind geometry with a friend. So, yeah. It's weird. It pulled me in, and it has deep enough lore to keep me engaged. Because it has the lore of an RPG, let me tell you that right now. Like, it may not have the deep mechanics or the deep grinds of an MMO, but it's almost got the lore for an MMO. It's pretty freaking close.
Yeah. Well, for how many things it's trying to do, it does a pretty good job. Because I feel like any other game that would try to do this much wouldn't even be half as good in some of the areas. I know people will complain at times like, well, this area is getting, not enough attention or whatever, but I'll tell you, has anyone ever tried PvP in like Uncharted or some of these other games that have tried to do multiple things? Yeah, it's right. No one talks about it because no one does it. So.
Is that Uncharted has PvP?
Yes.
The newest one does.
Legitimately. It has like a fairly deep PvP mechanics to it. I mean, that's like The Last of Us, which is what drew me into like the Twitch scene and stuff like that, which is what led me into Destiny, was the fact that I found a Last of Us multiplayer like community. Like for the original like when have you ever heard of like the multiplayer factions mode for The Last of Us? All you hear about is the single player, much like Uncharted. You hear about the story of it and like the experience of going through the story, but yeah, it's like, what the crap? And to think of the games that have come out to try and mimic this formula and have either flopped or nearly flopped entirely. Like, rest in peace, Anthem. Division nearly died following in Destiny's footsteps. I mean, it created an incredibly epic U-turn, but it just never quite regained the popularity. Like, when do you really hear about Division 2? I mean, it's still going, but when do you really hear about it, though? Oh, okay, never mind.
Well,
we're good.
My cat is very upset. I think I forgot to feed him. But anything else we want to talk about tonight? He's like, I'm sure you guys can't hear him, but he's meowing really loud in the background, like a couple doors away.
You mentioned the TWAB. I mean,
well, that's what I was going to say. There really isn't. That's the main thing in the TWAB. It really, really is. There's a couple small things. They talk about Trials is back this weekend, and the changes that were made. They kind of remind us of those changes, and they remind us of some known issues. So,
There is one thing in the... they do lay out 2 hot fixes that are coming, which I think is kind of weird. At least I'm pretty sure, because it's like, what, the 16th and the 23rd?
Yeah, 16th and 23rd, yes.
And also, one thing that they mention is crossplay, in-game crossplay chat. I finally see, like, pretty confirmative... Oh, don't tell me I accidentally went into the article. Poop. Yeah, I went into the 7th anniversary article. Fantastic. Crap. If I can stop screwing up and scroll. But yeah, they bring up trial stuff. Just to remind us. I mean, which is fair because it's coming tomorrow as of recording.
Mhm.
Chances are by the time this goes live, it will be gone. Hope you had fun in trials. I'll probably be trying it. They mentioned potato errors on PC are going to be, these are just known issues. Tether Time, Nightfall Triumph. Settings for voice chat persist between Steam to consoles. Players must log on to Steam to turn voice chat to on or reset their audio to default options. Might be the issue with crossplay chat.
It is. We've basically figured
Okay.
that out. I should have mentioned that. Okay, so this is interesting because I feel like it was more than that, and they also just slightly fixed something a few days after because it definitely. I had fiddled with my crossplay settings already, and I felt like I'd reset it already. But still, when Sin and I tried it, he couldn't hear me. I think I could hear him, and then I heard of other people having issues too. But then all of a sudden, people
say fix it in Steam or in the game.
Well, it's while you're playing in Steam. Apparently, those settings were overriding potentially console settings.
Yeah, but nonetheless, this seems to be even potentially a different issue of the issue of where overriding or not. Supposedly, some people were saying that even when you turned it back on, that wasn't good enough. You'd have to reset the settings, unless that's the only way you override it. But in my opinion, an on-off toggle should also override it. So obviously, some kind of a bug there. But we do have it basically working. I guess this seems to imply that maybe I'll have to reset it again in the meantime until a patch comes out. Have we tried in-game audio a second time since it worked? I'm trying to think.
No, we haven't.
But anyways,
I haven't.
Basically, it can TLDR. It can work. Worst case scenario, reset your audio settings, and the audio quality. Also, see, this confuses me. Why they just didn't really tell us much. They should have also said that they improved audio quality. That's something to be proud of, something to brag about.
Oh, really?
Well, they did. They increased it. It's not as good as Discord or PlayStation chat, but it's just barely below it, and way better than it was.
Wow. Yeah, I was about to say, even if it's just barely below PlayStation, that's like leagues better than what it was.
Yeah, I know. And so the whole the communication's been a little bit weird there, but good news, it works. For the most part, reset your audio settings if you need to. We the other night, the reason why we did it just because I was trying to do the share play to PlayStation, and I was having weird network issues, and I was sounding like a robot. And so I'm like, hey, can we try in-game audio chat? And we all switched to that, and it was pretty good.
Speaking of weird issues, I was having some weird issues Wednesday. No. Yes, yesterday with Destiny that I was very confused at. I couldn't do things in Destiny. I mean, I could do things, but I couldn't like change guns or turn in bounties or do anything. But yet I could go to like Ishtar Commander and change my loadout just fine. I could load into things just fine, but I couldn't like dismantle things or change weapons or change mods. I ended up having to close the app and like restarting it, and everything worked fine after that. But yeah, that was just super weird because it was acting like I was having network issues, but I could still do things. So it's just super weird. So I don't know what happened there, but I was nervous. And then I was confused because, again, I went to Ishtar Commander. It's like, okay, so this shouldn't show up on my screen because if it's a connection issue, but changed the weapon in Ishtar Commander, and it happened within seconds on my screen. And it's like, so it's not a connection issue. So what the crap is this?
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll get these known issues. I'm 1 week behind last week's TWAB, and then the one that just came out today. I need to get them posted in my known issues spreadsheet. Oh, and also, by the way, be sure to, of course, check out. I made a PDF of different ways. Of course, this will be less important now, but stuff we want to use Discord. Ways you can get potentially very cheap splitters if you do Discord through your phone, and if you have a headset that accepts an input cable, an unpluggable one, not one that's just built into your headset. You can get a cheap splitter system and have both audio mixed together, which is kind of cool.
I wonder if like an Elgato chat link cable would work for that.
Potentially, if it seems to do that same type of thing. Yeah.
Because a chat link cable for Elgato has a plugin for the Elgato, which you can actually put into a controller, or at least for the PlayStation side. Because I don't think you need like an adapter for a normal jack for an Xbox controller, right? Or have they fixed that since I last heard about it?
I think it's a normal jack for Xbox controller.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so so it has like one jack
right here,
to like lead into source, but then it has another jack to lead to something else, and then an input. So considering it has 2 outs and an in, or 2 males and a female, if you use that terminology, like it might, and they're like $10, I think.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
Yeah, that was about the same price I was seeing for this.
Okay.
Little setup,
but
if you don't want to buy those fancy $100 multiple Bluetooth input things, there's other options basically. Or
you just do what I do and use an earbud for your in-game audio.
Mm-hmm. Or Kato says he puts an earbud inside of his headphones, so he has an earbud and then the headphones over that.
Yeah, that's exactly That's my entire. Because I have what is now 3 headphones ago. It came with a USB jack, which was meant for computer because there's like all kinds of like controls for the headphones on this USB jack. But it's literally a USB jack that leads into a audio plug. So basically, I can plug any headset with a jack directly into my PlayStation through it. But it comes with one thing that does work on PlayStation is the mute function. So yeah, I can just use like a set of earbuds for my game audio, make sure that mute's on, and good to go.
Nice.
And then wear an earbud in one ear, headset for Discord. Good to go.
There are options.
There are ways. MacGyver taught us there's a way to do anything.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I need to start wrapping this up, but Sin, do we have any live updates tonight? We can't go without a live update, even if it's a little while ago.
Mojave was talking earlier about his vault space needing to be increased.
So I was going through my vault really quick and kind of looking at weapons, deleting some duplicates. I'm already starting my preparation for the raid race. I'm going to have my weapons ready just for you.
And we did team score.
And also the end game with my vehicles too.
End game with your vehicles.
Yeah, the Sparrow.
Sparrow for the raid.
Yep. I'm going to make sure my Sparrow is all set up as well. I'm doing that now.
I mean, that's
now
pretty much
also
just Deep Stone at the beginning, right? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right. Yeah. Now, also, if you want to really go try hard, you set up loadouts. So that way, between encounters, or Ishtar Commander has loadouts too now.
Something you definitely.
Never
I'm going to do that,
man. So yeah, that way, click of a button, boom, there you go. But yeah, for the super tryhards.
So what's interesting is also, especially since we're having Garden mixed in there with DSC and VOG, Garden, remember, they're jumping encounters. You can get pulled. So that's going to be easy. Someone will be fast and just pull the rest. But Deepstone and Vault of Glass, the raids don't do that. So we all have to make it through because, as expected, no one can leave. Everyone has to stay. So everyone has to make it through jumping encounters.
Yeah, because if you ban going to orbit, then that's okay, fair. Speedrunners go to orbit. Actually, legitimately, which is hilarious.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. Definitely looking forward to it.
Indeed.
Sucks we don't get pulled, but we'll have to figure it out. I'm sure we'll get through it.
Yeah. All right. Well, where can people find you gentlemen and talk about the things? This sounds silly. I was going to say talk about things you want to plug, but we don't have to use that term. But we do need to remind people of our handy D2 index channel. So go forth and tell us details.
Don't everybody go at once. You can D2 index. You got my shop up there, IRL Eververse, which has a couple Guardian Hub shirts. Go check those out. Don't forget to use the code to save you a little bit of dough on those. It's not set up for us to make money on it or me make money on it since I host the site. It's meant to
I want
just
to make money on it, Sin.
No, we can't let people know we're making money on things. No. That's not the facade.
If I sold it for my normal price, I would make a few bucks on it. Because I sell it at a discount.
Oh, it's so nice.
Basically covers my
cost.
So if you want us to make money, pass that link on, have a bunch of other people buy it without the discount code.
Spam all the Discords and make everyone mad.
Spam all the Discords. But other than that, find me over on Twitter at sin_media. Mr. Raven.
You can, of course,
the plug of plugs.
That's right. You can, of course, find the home of the Hephaestus Index either in the D2 Index, have to clear my throat real quick, or on Twitter at DS_Raven, which has been updated almost completely. I can't say completely because, again, Aegir Scepter is classified. So I don't have information on that yet. So that's going to pop up when that becomes a thing in the API. Otherwise, everything else is in there, and it is good to go. Kingsley.
Awesome. Yes, you can find me as KingsleyMac. You can find the Destiny 2 known issues spreadsheet in the D2 Index. I guess I'm also MC Kingsley on Twitter. Because of reasons. Anyways, you can find our show, The Guardian Hub, either on Twitter as The Guardian Hub or on our lovely website, theguardianhub.com.
The best hub on the net.
Awkward silence, awkward pause.
Was I muted?
No, we are too.
Like, wait a minute. I saw a mute go off on Discord, but that must have been Des.
It was me.
No, it was perfect. Zen, you did a good job. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in again this week. Thank you, everyone in the live chat. We really appreciate that. It's fun.
Indeed.
Seeing the comments, it keeps the show engaging. It gets Sin distracted. It lets me laugh. All of the above. And we really appreciate you all. And we will see you all next week.
Later.
Bye.